thank you very much. Welcome, the Lord Mayor of Manchester, Councillor Donna Lutford, and I welcome you in this great launch of the Manifest. This is a book that will inspire a lot of people and will transform lives out there. So thank you very much, Lord Mayor, for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks, Alan. Oh, so sorry about the delay. I was here dead on time, but it wouldn't let me in. But I'm here.
No, we are glad that you're here, and that's the most important thing. And thank you very much. So over to you, Crystal.
Yes. Welcome. We really appreciate you persevering, because perseverance is a mindset, right?
Oh yes, I wouldn't let it go.
Because
I wasn't giving up.
if we just like, oh well, then we wouldn't be able to achieve anything. So we appreciate you and honor you.
Thank you.
So thank you for being here. What would you like to share with us today related to mindset and greatness? What words do you have for us today?
So basically, Alan a few months ago approached me about his book, and I wrote a little snippet of my journey to get to where I am today, and a little bit about my background. As some of you will know, is that I was brought up in the care system in Manchester from the age of 6 months to 18, lived all over the city, went to many schools. Disruption was part of my life. I was passed from pillar to post. Many foster homes, children's homes, family group homes, and schools. I was never in one school for more than maybe 6 months. So I was always having to change life situations and having to be able to fit in those life situations, which were very, very difficult, as you can imagine. So, and never being able to fit in. Some families are, very, very difficult to feel like you're accepted and feel loved. And that's one of the things I take from this, is that rejection is a biggest part of what I had to live with all my life, as many people do, not just myself. It goes without saying, lots and lots of people have suffered, and resilience. And people say, but how do you do it? How did you come out of like being in foster care and go on to do good things? And I don't know how to answer that question. It's something that's in you. It's a fight within you. I'm not giving up. I refuse to give up. So yes, that's a little bit about my background. I mean, I could go on forever and probably bore you all, but that's a little snippet of what happened in my life and how I got to be here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I really appreciate that, because a lot of times, people have where they have a certain thought about foster homes and about foster kids and about that whole realm of what goes on there. But there are people that end up, whether they had what you might consider good experiences or bad experiences, the Bible says that all things work together for good. Those who love him and who are called according to his purpose. And so when we're called, there's no foster system or no home or whatever that can take that away from us. And so just being able to see that beautiful, beautiful smile. I wish I could bring it up, the picture that, you're all just adorned in all of your attire. It's just so beautiful. And so how you can come from where you came from and still rise and have that mindset of greatness, I think is testament to you as a person, but also to the human mind, to be able to just take whatever comes to us and still rise. And so as I mentioned earlier, is that I really appreciate, any book or anything that's geared toward children and the youth. And Ambassador Allen, said, in the little thing that he sent when he asked me to, that he wanted to encourage youth. And so you've already said some things, but if you were just, to look into the camera and encourage someone who's actually in foster care, what would you say to them?
Never give up. Never. You are your own person, and no matter what influences are in your life, and know what bad influences, good influences, use all those. Use everything, but never ever give up on life, because each and every one of you young people are exceptional in your own being. You are exceptional. And to say that for my year as a Lord Mayor, and that's what my focus is going to be on, is young people, whether they're being leaving care, whether they have come over from overseas, whatever their situation is. I want to make sure, if I can do one thing, if I can help one young person achieve, even just, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be the Lord Mayor, and you don't have to be this great, you just need to have this a desire for life, and it's a lust for life. And if you've got that lust for life, and I know it's very difficult when you're in those situations, I've been in those situations, I've felt those days, when them dark days when you don't want to get up in the morning, but if you can just do one little thing a day that you can say that's positive, write it down in a book each day that you've done something, you've been kind, you've helped someone, you've done something very, very small, but in that little thing, it's just for your own mental health. My thing, do you know, my thing is and I think if you're kind to others, kindness comes back to you. And I think that's what's one of the greatest gifts you can do and give people, is kindness. And I'm a great advocate of kindness is everything.
It is. It is. And what I wrote down based on what you were saying, I've been writing down other book titles all morning, Lord Mayor. So, so you were talking about just writing down one thing per day. So, you know, the positivity journal is what I wrote down, you know, the positivity journal. And it doesn't have to be that you had a great day necessarily. No. But you can still have where you turn that around to be a positive. So no matter what happened, you had a flat tire, you had this or that, like all the different things that could happen that are first world country issues as opposed to third world. You know, like a lot of people are going through a lot of things. And being, you know, I've traveled to over like 35 some different countries and done missions and in ministry and genetic research, like all different kind of things I've done in other places. And it's not the same as what you see on TV. No. And so people are going through a lot. They're going through a lot. And so anything that we can do to help bring positivity. And I think that positivity journal might be something that we might need to discuss as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And also as well, I think, you know, because I know Alan knows I've just finished writing a book myself, and it's called Care to Lord Mayor. And it focuses on my background and what it is, but it's also got some funny things in there, and about, you know, the next chapter about how you achieve, like I said, you don't have to do great things in life, but if if you're satisfied in yourself, or you know you're a good person, it projects out, it projects to other people. You, Alan, you've got that kind, you know, you do have that magnet. People are magnets to you. You want to be around you, because you've just oozed that personality. Yeah, and I think just it's to help young people realize that, you know, we are living in unprecedented times, and we can't help everybody. And I'm not going to say we can help every young person, because that's an impossibility, and we'd be lying if we said, well, if we can help a few young people get to where they want to get, and read this book and read about inspirational people, I just think it's amazing.